Hello, vinyl community. Is Mammoth66, aka Joel here. Back with another video. It's been quite a while. But as you can see with a different backdrop, this is actually my college dorm. So it's been a while because I don't know. I've been moving and my current residence is now Chicago, Illinois. So sweet. Anyway, I gotta get right into this because I have a giant stack of vinyl to show you because it's been such a long time. So let's start off with what's playing. It's an album by Bo Hansen called Lord of the Rings. And it's awesome because I've heard of Bo Hansen because he played organ with the Jimi Hendrix Experience for a couple of years. But I didn't know he had an album called Lord of the Rings. And I'm a Lord of the Rings nut. I actually am reading the Fellowship of the Ring right now, and it's my 5th time reading them, so love Lord of the Rings so much. And pretty much he was just inspired, Bo Hansen was inspired by Lord of the Rings, so he created this album, and it has songs like Leaving Shire, Tom Bombadil, The Black Riders, Flight of the Ford, and it's playing right now. It's really good prog rock. I mean, I love the organ. It's really creepy when it needs to be. It kind of tells a story when it has to, just like Lord of the Rings. And sometimes it reminds me of it, sometimes it doesn't. But it was made in '72, so obviously the movies hadn't come out yet. But it's a great listen. A really nice blind purchase. I mean, I've heard of Bo Hansen, but it was a really good blind purchase. This I got at a thrift store, Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. Just a 70s singer-songwriter, 90 cents at a thrift store. You know what's dumb? They write the price straight on the sleeve. It's dumb, but I mean, not as good as his early, more folky stuff. Year of the Cat, the title track, is a really good track. So next, I pick up a really nice copy of Volume 4 of Black Sabbath, one of their best albums, obviously, and this is just a really nice, clean copy that I found at a record store. I just had to get. And at the same record store, I got We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll. Doesn't need an introduction. It's just kind of. I really wanted to get the first 5, but since I'm really low on budget because I'm a college student, I just kind of had to get this, which is kind of their first 5 albums wrapped up in a greatest hits. So. This album I was so happy to find this at a record store. I was just browsing through, and lo and behold, Vincebus Eruptum by Blue Cheer popped up for $10. I mean, the cover isn't in the greatest condition, but the record plays fine, and I've just been obsessed with this record for such a long time. It came out in 1968, blew me away. It's so heavy. I just love it so much. If you haven't checked that out, you have to. If you like psychedelic music, heavy blues, any 60s music, just ahead of its time. Great. This I found in the dollar bin, Fairy Tale by Donovan. I'm a big Donovan fan, so that was really nice to get that. And I think it's my favorite release by him, actually. So to get it for $1 was amazing. This is record 1 in his pack, like the deluxe package. A Gift from the Flower to a Garden, and This Is Where Your Love Like Heaven, and it's almost in mint condition, but I mean, it's a really nice record to have, and I love it. Donovan's great. I got this one because it was definitely lacking in my collection, and I didn't have it, and it's an obvious classic. I mean, pretty much everyone needs to have this just because it's just a great release. American Beauty, Grateful Dead, came out in 1970. And the reason why I think the songs are so good is because it's the year, obviously, after Woodstock, and they played in Woodstock. And just kind of that crowd that they were playing in front of that all love their music, I feel like just inspired them to write these great songs. And it obviously has some great songs. You got Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil, Truckin', Super Magnolia. I'll turn that down. It's just fantastic. I mean, everyone knows this is a great record. So. Next, I got this one, Lead Belly. I think it's just kind of a archive of folk music, it says right there. So I think it's just kind of a collection of some of his best songs, and I mean, it's great. Classic Delta blues. One of my favorite Delta bluesmen, actually my favorite is Pink Anderson, who Pink Floyd named themselves after, and I mean, you gotta check out Lead Belly and Pink Anderson. So, to add to my Neil Young collection, I got Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, classic album, Down by the River, Cowgirl in the Sand, Cinnamon Girl, you know, Running Dry. Steve Von Till, actually from Neurosis, on one of his solo albums, did a fantastic cover of that song. You have to check that out if you're a Neil Young fan. Great cover. Steve Von Till again. But yeah, just kind of adding to my Neil Young collection. This record is amazing. I had actually heard about it before I had even found out about the vinyl community, because there's this blog called A Day After the Sabbath, and it's just kind of a collection of proto-metal, like 60s and 70s proto-metal, and I've gotten turned on to some great bands, and one, probably my favorite, is Sir Lord Baltimore. This is Kingdom Come, and I mean, so many of you know how great this release is. This is a repress on 180-gram vinyl, and no band has rocked this hard. No band ever. This band rocks the hardest out of any band ever. I'm convinced. Seriously, they rock so hard. Next, I've got Steely Dan's Can't Buy a Thrill. Obviously, a classic album, came out in '72. Just really good, kind of like jazz fusion. Just good rock and roll. You know, Steely Dan, all you know. And this next release is beautiful. It's probably the most I've ever spent on a record, and the best record I own, I think. One of my favorite records ever. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. And if you have, you're lucky. This is Stars of the Lid and the Refinement of the Decline. This is like my holy grail. I love this so much. I listen to it all the time. One of my top 5 albums ever. So it's actually a triple LP set. The cover flips up like that, and you got 3 different records in here. This one's white. This one has a black sleeve. This one has a yellowish sleeve. So this is just 2 guys, and their names aren't important, but it's Brian and Adam, and Brian McBride and Adam Wiltsey, and this came out in 2007. It's like an ambient kind of drone masterpiece. This is their most recent release, and some people don't think it's their best, but I think I personally do. The Blasted Orchestra is also one that I really like, but if you just kind of like ambient music, soundscapes, drone, this is what it's all about. It's hard to describe because it's just absolutely beautiful. It's makes me think. It's thought-provoking. It just makes me think. You know, it's been with me for a really long time. It's nice background music for reading and studying. Just kind of sit down and relax. But I feel like anyone would like it just because of the beautiful tones that they have. They have drones, usually with guitars and a bass, and they have bells, beautiful piano tones, soaked with reverb, and just a great release. I could go on and on. But that's pretty much what I've picked up in the last month. And I'm kind of going to slow down a lot during college. Probably not even buy anything. My dad's kind of mad at me for buying so much. But that's pretty much what I got. And thank you all for watching. Have a good one.